Hello, and welcome to tonight's stream, where we are going to be doing some work on the overlay. Trying to see if we can get my mouth working somehow, to some degree. Hopefully, maybe. We may have to wait until macOS 13 is out, but at least we can try and get a start on it. See if we can get it doing something at least. Anyway, how is everyone this evening? Hope you are all doing well. I have had quite a few long days. I mean, I talked about Monday on Monday's stream. And yesterday was a fair bit of work, and today's been a fair bit of work, but I'm ready. I've been in sort of a weird mood all day. The sort of mood where you are very high energy, but you can't focus that energy. You're like buzzing with energy, but it's just completely a mess and you can't actually do anything much. So, yeah. I did manage to actually get a lot done now I think about it. So, I mean, yeah, I suppose I've managed to get a fair bit done today, but it never feels like enough. Never really does. But yeah, we can have a nice relaxing evening. I also had a little bit of a, not necessarily a panic, but a sense of, oh god, oh dear, I've got a lot to do on Friday when it's my day off. And I have realised that actually, if I do one thing tomorrow instead, and it's not a very complex thing, it's literally go to a shop during my lunch break, I don't have to do that on Friday. And therefore things are easy to do on Friday. And yeah, I've also had some bright ideas today, which I will show you when we get over, because I have been doing something wonderful. I have been planning, and this is partly the shop that I'm going to, planning to build my own paint rack, which I think I may have shown on stream before, but I've done some more work on that and actually came up with some brilliant ideas to reduce the amount of work, and less work is always a good thing. So, yeah, is there anything else? Oh, there may actually be some slightly new features and fixed stuff in the overlay. So I have fixed a bug where subscribers were not being detected. And I will... I may need to rebuild the overlay. I think I forgot to fix something. Give me a second. Well, actually, no. Give me between 10 and 20 seconds. Just to see whether it is what I think it is. I think I may have reduced the idle time to 10. Yes. Okay, I'm going to have to rebuild the overlay. So, this will not take too long. 60 and 90 seconds. Save that. And where are we? Quit and rebuild. Yeah, I don't want to have idle animations going off when I just leave my control doing nothing for 5 seconds, so. Okay, that is built. Use my microphone, even though it's not actually accessing it. And There we go. Hopefully I won't be quite as animated. Anyway, let us head over into the observatory and get started. So if we head over here. Oh yeah. Those work again. Sounds and all, I even got them working in a way where I can just throw them in without any issues. So that's good. Right, if we head over here and start the screen. There we go. And I will settle in and we can get started. So why don't we take a quick look at where are we? Yes, the subscribers. So when a subscriber throws a bug, it's meant to throw something bigger. I mean, there are many things that if you subscribe, it's meant to give you additional features. Now, the only one yet is that the bugs are a different size, but I want to add more. In order to do that, I need to check if you're subscribed. And the problem that I found was it wasn't actually doing that. And the reason was I was going to the API and calling a method that is basically says check that this user is subscribed to this channel. What it doesn't tell you, unless you actually call it through the command line to check the errors or everything like that, is that what it actually means is check that you are subscribed to a channel. Because if the user you pass in is not the same as the user that is authenticated to make the request, you cannot see that they are subscribed. So effectively, it wasn't working. So what you need to get is get broadcaster subscriptions, where you pass in channel ID and you can get all the subscriptions for the particular channel. So I basically do that at start. I also, if someone subscribes during the stream, I'll just add them to it, and then I can just check, are they in the list of subscribers? If so, then it works. Etsunasu, welcome in. Can you show again the if statement about throw bug? That would be in this here. Is this what you were wanting to say? I don't use an enum because these are strings, so these are just strings, so I can't really do an enum with strings, I believe. Yeah, it's a similar thing here. It's just because the status, the status here is a string, so it's just giving strings, and it's just, the other thing is these can change frequently because the actual title is based on what is on Twitch, so I essentially just use whatever title I've put into Twitch. I can't remember if there is an identifier of some sort, but yeah, it's, this is mostly just code being thrown together to do stuff. It's never going to be shipped, and as long as it works and is reasonably tidy, then it's generally fine. If I use an enum, I can edit only one time. Well, there's only one place that I need to edit it, which is here. There are no other places that it is going to be used. All channel points come into here. So if I use an enum, I mean, technically I am only editing it one time, but I'm editing it in two places because I've got to edit it in the enum and then I've got to edit it in the if statement. It's a compiler thing, but the thing is I've got to edit it three times because I've got to edit the enum name, then the enum string, and I'm not entirely sure C# supports string enums, but I'd have to change the name, I'd have to change the actual string because I need the string regardless, and then I would need to do other stuff. Yeah, the book size for the enum I can do, because the book size, there is no actual string here. But the thing is, these here are based on the name of the channel point redemption in Twitch. Well, I mean, I can use a string with an enum, but I mean, it's just adding more code because I would then have enum throw bug, and let's say that you can do it with string, then I'd need, well, no, it'd be enum reward titles, and then it would be throw bug, I don't know what the syntax is, equals throw bug, and then I'd be checking that is equal to reward titles.throw bug. So I've now, if I change the name, I've not only changed it in Twitch, but I've also got to change it here, here, and here, as opposed to just changing it here. So it's actually adding far more places. Now, if it's something that I'm going to be using in multiple places, like here I'm setting the size, and in other places I'm checking the size and doing various other things, then an enum makes sense because I am setting it and updating it. But these are things that I'm just getting from the web. Like the Twitch API is calling me and is setting those things. So it's like there's not really any point because there's no real reuse going on. Like I say, if I was doing code where it was setting up the channel points and then reading them, then obviously that makes a lot of sense. But it's one of those things where just here it doesn't make a lot of sense. And a lot of this code is going to be messy and so on. I'm generally just hacking stuff together with C#. Right, so what we are going to be doing today is trying to get my mouth working again. And this may not fully work because it may also involve the music, but we can at least try and see if we can get it going directly from the microphone. And if we can't get it directly from the microphone for now, even if the music's playing, we can do it where we will be able to just get the animation side of things working and try those out. So, what am I looking for? I'm looking for Pilkybot, face, mouth. Because the mouth is where we have all of our code for microphone stuff. Now we're probably, we're gonna want to effectively delete most of the stuff we want. So this loudness from microphone. I don't have. Wasn't what I deleted, was it? No, it was that. I appear not to have a loudness and microphone function anymore. Oh no, there it is. I wasn't looking. So we're going to do all that. So what I'm going to do here is we're still going to return false, but I'm going to stick that up there and debug.log loudness loudness. Actually, if I get rid of that, we actually have a debug option, don't we? If I do that and that. Okay, so let's go into Unity and play this. And what we want to do is we should be logging out all of our inputs, which we are doing. So that should be setting up the wavelength. So if I go to debug and mic level, actually be in there. Okay, so let's shift that into there. And debug. Right, so on the Pokebot, the mouth. Ah. Oh, is the mouth meant to be... just try something. Yes, I'm updating the mouth. But where is the mouth actually created? It's on the bot face. Okay, so we want body and mouth. Okay, so the debug volume is set. It doesn't seem to actually be calling that. So why is it not calling it? Let's close a bunch of these. Where is our mouth? So debug.log. Oh, we're not actually calling update volume debug. That would be why. Start update volume debug. We can actually get rid of this log because that will spam the thing, and restart at the mic level, and it is still not updating. Okay, because update Lance is returning false. We'll move it outside the if statement and then it should work. Do this. Show the mic level. There we go. Right, so probably want to adjust this, because if I just pause the music, then is it responding to my voice? No, because my voice is not going through that. Okay. I'll tell you what would be useful to have. I wonder if I could mic name. If I make that public. Okay. So can I do a public mic name override string equals null? And what we're going to do is either get this.mic name override or devices. Right. So what we should be able to do is, if I do that, well, we are doing one. Is that going through this starting microphone? Elgato wave 3 microphone setting up mic. Doesn't seem to be. Let's copy paste this to there. Does it do that? Upper cam is enabled. Okay. Well, it seems to be using the Elgato Wave 3. And doesn't seem to be doing that. Okay, so maybe we can start testing some stuff. What I want to test is if I select the mouth and I bring the loudness factor down. Let's go in the scene. Actually, no, we can go in the game view. We can, oh no, we can't. We need to, alright, so first thing, is head over here and we want to have a look at the mic level. So if we go to the mouth, want to reduce the loudness factor quite a bit actually. So well, I can speak a little bit, but it's yeah, it's quite loud. Maybe what we need to, so the loudness factor of 8 is, well, so if I speak loud, I mean, I'm still getting fairly loud, but it's maybe a loudness factor of 10 will work. Okay, so why? So why is this not reducing the, like, if I set the reduction rate, nope, no, I don't want to do that. Oh, so it is doing the reduction rate. So if you set the reduction rate at 2, that is better. So maybe it needs to be 1.5 then. Yeah, so that looks okay. So then, if this is all hooked up, we need to then work out how many, well, we have 6 mouth states. So basically what we want to do is divide it up. So when there is little to no sound, I think we have yeah, we're going to need a bit of a noise gate on there where we completely ignore if it is too quiet. Loudness isn't that big of a deal. Because we can tweak the loudness factor, but what we probably want to do is reduce, have a bit of a noise gate. Because if I'm typing, like if I'm just bashing on the keyboard, you can't hear it, but if you watch the thing, you can see that it is just fluttering a bit because it can detect that but I've got a noise gate on the actual microphone. So, I mean, if we do this and we're just getting the raw audio, means we're not using any of the filters, but we don't need to use the filters. All we really care about is the volume of me speaking, and we can tweak those. Just a tad. So what we want to do is so we want to get the raw loudness. And we want to smooth it out and have a reduction rate because we want it to go to whatever like the peak is, but we don't want it to jump down to like it. We don't want it to track the level. We want it to track the peak, but then gradually move down. So it will shoot up, but it will gradually go down. So we have that. Then what we need to do is it then needs to work out what level. So I think what we need to do is have it get the raw volume from the microphone, then get the adjusted volume, and then we want to pass that in to see what the state would be based on the volume. And then if that is a new state, then we want to change the mouth. So this shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. Okay, so if I bring this over, we're going to want to tidy some stuff up. So we're applying the expression, we're applying the theme. And the Y offset. So that is all okay. How much of this do I want to potentially move out of here to a separate thing that just manages microphone? Because all these things we can get rid of. We're just going to, because we've got 6 states. One state is closed, and then we're going to have 5 states. So the minute we start getting above the noise gate, it is going to start changing stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this playing. So we do not need any of that. So the loudness factor we want to be about 10, and the reduction rate about 1.5. Then what else do we need? The update frequency, because we don't want to update the mouth every time. Let's just rename this to peak volume. it should be current volume. I'll do that, and that reduces the rates. We want this. So what we want is var volume equals this dot adjusted volume. Then we're going to want to get volume state equals this dot state for volume, passing that in, and then if volume state is not equal to this dot do we have a it sets the loudness this dot mouth state then this dot mouth state equals volume state update mouth. So what do I want to do here? So we have we need to get the raw value from the microphone, and then we need to adjust that volume, and then we're going to get the state. So what we probably want is a separate microphone object, but I want to access that from outside, so that probably wants to be a mono probably needs to be a mono behavior. And if we deal with the mono behavior, have to be a mono behavior to let you edit. Let's find out. It probably does. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Want to ask something if it's not private? Don't answer if you wish. How do you deal with the feeling of loneliness? Even the codes are right, don't make me happy anymore. I'm not entirely sure how to answer that because like, I'm an introvert, so I do very well by myself. Like, I'm fairly happy just being just being by myself, working on stuff, messing around with stuff. That's generally when I'm happiness, and it doesn't mean that I don't like the company of people. It's just that I'm content to be by myself and doing my own thing. Now you can still get lonely as an introvert, but I think part of that is just having stuff to do where you can just talk to people, be that, I mean, I've got a lot of friends, but they're all, like, most of them all around the world. So I'm not meeting up with them in person. I'm going and I am, well, I'm just talking to them online, having voice calls and so on, and occasionally we'll meet up. Some of them I've never actually met, but it's just one of those things of it's just catching up, dealing with stuff, talking to one another, gaming or stuff like that. I mean, with some of my friends, we schedule certain nights when we game, and it's just like once a week, me and some friends will just sit down and we play video games and catch up and just talk about how our week's been and relax and have fun. And it's just about getting those bits of communication in. Now, if it's at the point where like you're feeling like lonely and you haven't really got the drive to like enjoy like even writing code and all stuff like that, then there are two things that could actually be there that are somewhat potentially linked. The first is obviously burnout. If you are burnt out from work or whatever, that extends into other things. It burns you out in other ways. So you can burn out in work, and that makes you burn out for like relationships with others, and burn out in just how you feel about yourself and just all stuff like that. Burnout is insidious, and you should really, where possible, and it should always be possible. If it's not possible, you probably need to get to a better environment, but avoid burnout. That's step one. The other thing, and bear in mind, I am not a medical professional, but the other thing is potentially depression, which is literally just a case of your brain acting a certain way, which makes you feel a certain way, which makes you act a certain way, which makes you feel a certain way, and it's negative feedback loops. Now, there are ways to deal with that, and there are many different types of depression. Depression is not a very simple thing. It is not a, oh, I am sad. Depression is fatigue. Depression is brain fog. Depression is just almost seeing the world through like a grayscale filter. It is like sapping your energy away and stuff like that. So that is something that some of it is based on, it's a mixture of sort of brain chemistry and environment and emotions and thought processes and all sorts of stuff. And there are ways of doing that. I mean, the two obvious ways. One is medication and the second is therapy. And for both of those, it's a case of go see your doctor. Like last year, I was actually diagnosed with, I can't remember the exact name for it, but it's sort of depression without the depression, where with all my fatigue and my brain fog and concentration issues and stuff like that, it was basically a case of you have the symptoms of depression, you just don't have the thought processes of depression. So I was put on medication, which has sort of helped. Not entirely. I mean, I need to actually see the doctor about that and how it can work better, but it has helped to some degree. Another thing that affects that is the actual weather. When it is dark and grey outside, especially in winter, then you can quite easily get what is called seasonally affected disorder or seasonally affected depression, SAD. And that is just a case of feeling, just down depending on the weather. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it is something of just, if you can, try to get yourself involved in stuff. If you are feeling lonely, just force yourself to go out, or just reach out to family or friends or anything like that, and just say, okay, can we just have a catch up, even if it's just like a 5-10 minute phone call. That can often help a lot. So yeah, well, that could help. I mean, like I say, I'm not usually the best to answer those sorts of questions, because it's like, how do you deal with being alone? Well, I just do stuff. I read a book, I play a game, I paint minis, I code. I'm an introvert. Always have been, always will be. I mean, I'm just a robot by himself, supposedly, I think, on a spaceship going through space. So, what I want to do is I want to find I think these would have to be Unity inspector script without mono behavior. Can you do that? Custom inspect for non-mono behavior class. Okay, so if you want to inspect, you have to use mono behavior. So I'll just create a mono behavior. Not a big deal. And the only reason I'm doing this is I want to have the microphone controller separate. So actually the microphone controller can be all the way up here. Let's create a game object. It's empty microphone controller. And our microphone controller needs a microphone controller script. That can be added to script. Okay. So, can you have Unity populate in inspector pop-up button at runtime? Yeah, so we won't bother with that. So no. List string available banks. No, we don't need to do that because what do we want? We want a public void set up microphone thing. Microphone. I won't do it like that. We set up, there's going to be a public string microphone name. Public void select next microphone. Because we can have a thing where we can cycle through microphones if we do it this way. These should, because it's C#, these should be uppercase. We're going to have public void, no, public float, raw volume. Public float, adjusted volume. And the adjustments are going to be volume adjustment, which is going to be 10. Public float reduction rate equals 1.5f, and public float noise gate equals, let's do 0.05f for now, and 0 and 0. So in this case, what we're going to do is var devices equals microphone.devices. So we're going to get those. If devices.length equals 0, debug.log, no mic found. return. Then, if this dot magphone name is null, this dot magphone name equals devices 0, return. Otherwise, devices dot C# array get index of value. Array dot find index. Does Inti not support that? There is an array.index of. Array.index of devices this dot microphone name. Oh, sometimes I hate programming. Aye. Right. Index. If index is -1. Oh, actually, no, we can do index plus equals 1 if index equals, because if it's -1, then we just want to get the which means nothing's found, then we can just get the first item. So we can sort of cheat that way. So if our index is equal to devices.length, then we want index to be equal to 0. We're going to be respond. And we can do this dot microphone name equals devices index. So what I can do is select that. Got some stream data stuff there. I've got stream data stuff there. I'm just going to but void clean up microphone. We'll clean up and we will start. And also for the stream deck button, we'll have select next microphone. So I can do that. So let's just configure the stream deck. Stream deck. I want to. When we copy this, we'll paste. Select next microphone. And what we should be able to do is if we head over here and we play, we make sure we have, oh, mouth does not contain, oh yeah. Let's just delete that. Okay. So if we build and run, it should there we go. I can cycle through the microphones. Now what would be cool is if I could get that displaying in the overlay just for me. Let's leave that for another time, but we now have a button where I can cycle through microphones. So let's start. Let's start set up microphone. And down here, we're going to do this dot clean up microphone and this dot setup microphone because we want to change it after here. Let's do some stretching then. You may have noticed potentially some changes to the bugs. There are some different bugs appearing. I have added some for the spooky month for Halloween. If we go and have a look. See if I can bring. We have some pumpkins. Oh, don't go too far. Come back here. There we go. So we have some pumpkin ones, and oh, is that one of the other ones over there? Yes, and we have an evil skull. Bring these. Yeah. There we go. Where have I gone? There. So yeah, we have some evil skulls and some pumpkins that I drew up last night. I was thinking of doing something like trying to make my face have a pumpkin theme, but it was kind of difficult to do and get working right. It would have been an awful lot of work. Whereas getting bugs having different options was actually quite easy to do. So I'm pretty pleased with how they've turned out. So yeah, it's just a little thing for Halloween. I mean, it does give the idea of I could do things like Christmas or for other sorts of celebrations that I may want to do. I may want to consider sticking. Tatsu. That already works. If I was to simulate a subscription, I come over here and I press a button that will just simulate someone subscribing. Oh, the message thing is broken, but the sticker isn't. It displays a sticker on me, which is the avatar of whoever has subscribed. So whenever someone subscribes, I get a sticker on my belly. Because I am a computer, and computers are what people put stickers on. And then at the end of the stream, I can just check out all the stickers. Oh, I can write the Twitch name, but I mean the Twitch name is meant to display on my, if I just do it. Yeah, it's just not. It's something not connected. Oh, that could be why. Oh, and it's way over there. Yeah, so it's in the wrong place, is why. Let's just enable this. There we go. Okay, so if I do this and then there you go, it comes up on the screen and then I get a sticker down there. But I mean, there are other things I can do in terms of sticking stuff around. This would happen every time. I mean, you could do it's one of those things where some people may not want their subscriptions staying on screen. This is something a bit smaller, and a lot of the time it's not visible. So yeah, I mean, it's something that I'd try. I mean, it's something that I could potentially get working. So yeah, I mean, I have a very big list of things I want to do. This is not in any particular order, except for the mouth working being at the top. But there are many things that I want to work on the overlay. But the priority is getting the mouth working. Okay, so where actually were we? Okay, so we need to set up the microphone. And for that, we're going to have microphone selection. Volume. Probably have restart mic in there. So this is going to be clean up. But if this dot microphone name is null, turn. Otherwise, we'll set up. We need a private audio clip microphone clip. Okay, so we can clean up the microphone, can set up the microphone. So we also want a sample window. Yeah, so if microphone name is null, this dot microphone clip is null. And then we do that. So the adjusted volume, what we're going to do for volume equals this dot row volume. And we're going to do I mean, it's not really the adjusted volume, it is we could just say volume. So that is going to be equal to nothing. We want to get the row volume. And this dot current volume is equal to ff.max this dot current volume if this dot current volume is greater than 0, then this dot current volume minus equals float reduction rate divided by volume adjustment times time dot delta time. And if this is a mono behavior, yeah, we probably want update. We can actually have public float get private set out. Equals 0f. And this can be private float update volume. This can just be void. If what we probably want to do is new volume equals that volume equals that if new volume if new volume is less than 0.05f, then new volume equals 0. This dot current volume equals new volume. Okay. So loudness from microphone we're not going to get anymore. Update line, so these things we're not going to get anymore. I think speed time is actually used anywhere. resides in update, so we'll get rid of that. We want a public microphone controller. Phone controller. That can go away because it is neatly moved elsewhere. I don't think we need the Stream Deck stuff anymore. Mark. Mouth. Texture slash position. This isn't the texture. This is well, this is mouth state. Close, open, 1, 2, 3, 4, max. So yes. Let's just do string for now. No, we've got on this, which we'll rename to mouth state. Mouth state equals dot closed. We want this dot microphone controller dot current volume. This volume, so we want private mouth state state for volume, load volume, turn dot closed. There's a difference, then we update that, otherwise we update the volume debug. I'm going to take a short break just to get a fresh drink, and when we get back we'll get this state for volume implemented and then the update mouth implemented, because that should let us change the sprite. So I will see you all in a few minutes. Feel free to go have a stretch. I'll probably run ads during the break just to get rid of those pre-rolls, so just go and have a stretch, have a walk, get a fresh drink and ignore the ads. So see you in a little bit. Okay, I am back with a fresh drink. Hey Snowtwig, how are you doing? It is going good. We are currently working on getting my mouth working again, finally. So we will see how that goes. So what we are going to be doing is if volume is greater than 0, then mouth state open max. So we're just going to do, if I'm it's just basically going to flap open, close, open, close, open, close. You're okay, waiting for some dinner. Oh, are you having anything interesting for dinner? Oh, I've just realized something. So I go to the pillow keyboard. Resources. Mouth. Yeah. Okay. I have not exported. Right, let's get that done then. Where is... do that. Streaming, Pokebot, new face, mouth. Standard. Right, I also need to open bot faces. Right, what we are going to do is we have a mouth. Right. Now the mouth's always going to be wider than they are taller, so we probably want to change exactly how we do things. Where we have a column per thing and then a row per state. So we will go for the biggest mouth. Okay, what I'm going to do is add some markers. Here and here, so we can get everything lined up correctly. Let's set the width to 700. So we're starting from the biggest. Open max. Open 4. So how's your day gone, Snow Twig? Three, 2. One. And closed. Okay, so we can delete, 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 delete. And what I want to do is select that. If I just crop, and what is the canvas size? 575207. We're going to want 569 227. 569 227. 56. No. Canvas size. 595 227. 595 227. 595 times 3. 227 times 6. Uh, 12 rows, 6 columns. Okay. So what I want to do that's not going to be enough. need to merge all these together. So 620 by 227. 620 times 3. And then we want to set up our guide layout again. Good. Then we want to let's delete. Okay, so we're centered. Minus 227. Minus 227. Minus 227. 227. And then minus 227. Okay, so I'm going to select all those, and these are going to be plain. And they all need to be white because of unity. Nope. No. Oh, for crying out loud. Don't want to. Okay, I think that has them centered. Glowing, we can just copy the list out, then delete. Do it. Copy that across to there. Glowing. Paste layer style. And then for pixelated, what guides? Pixelated. that. Is 21, so I need to be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 should be enough. How many different sprites? So for these sprites, I have glasses, I have eyes, I have face, and then I have accessories. The eyes, I've got 3 like variants. Playing, well, for all of them there's 3 variants, plain, glowing, and pixelated at the moment. Then I have what else do I have? I have all those. Eyes each have 3 variants because you've got blink, you've got open, closed, and a sort of a mid blink. The mouth's going to have up to 6 variants. So yeah, there's 18 per mouth, plus 3 for the eye. So 3 by 3, so 9 for the eyes, so 18, 27. But the eyes, for some of them, do have double, so that is, well, we had, let's say, average it out as half. Let's say 27. Let's add another 4, so that's going to be 31. The glasses, again, you got 3 variants, but you can have left and right. So that's another 6. So let's say 37. And that is just for one expression. So there are 8 expressions. So 37 times 8. So in total, 296 sprites. Give or take. But I mean, this here is 18 sprites. So, and the thing is, the plain ones I've already created. The glowing ones, I basically just copy the plain ones and add a glow effect on. It's the pixelated ones that are more work, but the good news is for the pixelated ones, the reason I did 6 is that pixelated looks better with fewer frames. So for pixelated, I'm going to like only have 3 variants of it. So I'm going to be double. So there are still going to be 6 sprites. It's just sprites 1 and 2 will be the same, 3 and 4 will be the same, and 5 and 6 will be the same. So yeah, we're probably not going to get all the sprites, like all of this done tonight, but I want to get it at least working for this face, if I can. And then we could just, because at that point I need to actually just generate the sprites for all the others. So I can get it working for this face, maybe see if I can get another face done. So where are we there? That's 27. So 3, 4, 5. That should be good enough. Just need to bring this in a bit. Bring that in a bit. Okay. So for our pixel grid, selected, closed. So the Y, I want to add 227 times 2 will move me to there. And then I want to copy copy that to there. And then I want to start selecting. Okay. I don't sample always. Do this again. And then I want to get this, fill in. Flip, fill in. Okay, so pixel grid, I am going to plus 227 times 2. Actually, probably want plus 2. Oh yeah, I've probably done that wrong. I probably, because I want open max, and I'm probably going to want this one, not this one. Do 50%. Is that centered? It is now. Right, pixel grid. Keep using Blender hotkeys. Nah. Open max. Alright, let's select. We want that. Yeah, because of the pixel size I've chosen, we're kind of limited here. That's okay, limitations are good. I could make things a bit bigger for that, but I'd probably have to add in the height, I'd have to add a fair bit, so I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think we'll actually be good with what we have. So, I want to delete that. Add the pixel grid. Away. That wants to move up. And we want to duplicate layer. Plus 327. And then we want duplicate this layer. Okay, so if we get rid of the background, export. We want models, Pokebot, resources, face, mouth, lane. Now this is going to break the mouths all over expressions. All other expressions if you change the theme. So alright, so count. So we've got 3 columns, 6 rows. Slice, apply. Okay, so in our script, where is our Visual Studio? So what I want to do is var sprite index equals this dot mouth state times 6, because that's the maximum number of things that we can have, plus the texture variant, because the texture variant is going to be between 0, it's going to be 0, 1 or 2. So if I bring this back across, I'll put the background on so you can see it. So if we're in mouth state 1, variant 1, then we want to be at 0, 0. Mouth state here, but we're on variant 3, then we want to be like 4, 3. So we wanted to go down the columns based on the mouth state and along the rows based on the expressions. I should be able to cast that to an integer. Do that, and then we want the sprite index. Now this should just flap between the 2 in theory. Well, let's give it a go. Nope, compiler errors. Oh yeah, we're going to want this dot microphone controller dot Select microphone, this dot microphone controller dot set up microphone. Volume public. Is it complaining? Okay, so the last thing we need to do is mouth. We need to hook up our microphone controller. Okay. Index was outside the bounds of the array. So if I go to base expression plane, loading all of those. Debug.log mouth index. Press the right buttons. This dot sprite index. Oh, because it's not a this. Okay. Oh, it should be the mouth state times 3. Because that is how many texture variants we have. So if we try now, it flaps between open and closed. So what we want to do is tweak it so it will select different items, and it's we're on the wave 3. Do we need volume adjustment moving up? Yeah. So okay. Does the noise gate need to be reduced? So that looks okay, I would say. Okay, so this probably wants to be 0.05. What we want to do then is in Visual Studio 2016. No, this is Visual Studio 2020 actually. Sorry, 2022. Version 17.3.7 for Mac. So this is the Mac version of Visual Studio that they recommend using now for Unity development. Right, so if the volume is that, we're going to do closed. Then what we want to do is how are we going to determine this? What we want to do is actually normalize the volume between 0 and 1, but for that we need a max volume. So how are we going to give ourselves a maximum volume? Because anything above a certain, so we probably public float debug volume equals 0f. What we're going to do is this dot debug volume equals volume. We're just going to throw the row volume in here. Okay, so we can see what the volume actually is. So what we probably want to do so our noise gate probably wants to be if this dot new volume. So now we should see what the output is. So when we look here, we can see that the volume is generally 0 for a lot of it. So if I go to 1 there, yeah, that is still fairly quiet. If I do there, yeah, that is far better for working out what we want. So what we want to do is work out what the maximum volume we are going to hit is. And once we work out what the maximum volume is, so what we want is public float debug volume equals 0f. This dot max debug volume equals f dot max debug volume b. Okay, so now we have this in. If I press play, we'll get the debug volume, but this will show whatever the max is. So we can see the max is currently 0.85. How loud can I get? I mean, I suppose what I need to do is see what happens when I get very loud when I'm speaking a lot and making loud sounds, yes, I'm just ignore all the stuff I'm saying. It's kind of hard to speak on stream when you're also trying to test speaking for purposes of loudness. It's kind of weird. Let's reset the debug volume to 0 because we're getting to 0.3, but I think that's probably a bit high. So yeah, so I think right now, getting to 0.13, but how much louder am I really going to get? 0.168, but I mean, if we cap it at maybe 1.5, 0.15, then that will give us a limited volume, which would work pretty well for us. So yeah, if we cap it at 0.15, I think that will be good. So what we will do is if we just come over here. In fact, is there a way? Unity Inspector Group Properties. Okay, so if I do header, debug volume. So I've got debug volume, max volume, public float, adjusted volume. Max reach. Raw volume, max reached, adjusted volume equals 0.15 F. Max reach. We want the raw volume there. Normalized volume. So for the normalized volume, what we're going to do is it's going to be new volume divided by this dot max volume, and it is between math f dot min new volume max this volume 1. I will stick these here. does this normalize volume? So those are just for debugging purposes. So the raw volume, okay. So let's see if this works. So we have a raw volume, we have a maximum volume that we are reaching, but then we have our volume that is normalized between 0 and 1, which I think works reasonably well. Oh no, our noise gate needs to tweak because that was 0, 1, wasn't it? So yeah, this is, I would say, working pretty well. But I think there is a lot because it's going between, I'm seeing a lot of 0.3s, and I'm not seeing anything right now. So it probably, the noise gate 0.5. How is that looking now? I would say that isn't too bad, but the raw volume is still fairly let's see what this will give us. So if it's 0 that, and then we've got 5 states, don't we? So it's below 0.2, below 0.4, below 0.6, below 0.8. So the massive volume is less than 0.2. Massive volume is less than 0.4. So 0.6. Okay, so I think we should give this a go. So, how is this looking? Yeah, it's a bit, need to, let's change this noise gate. It was 0, 1 I was wanting. Okay, so how does this look? I would say that's looking a lot better than I expected. Yeah, if we set the reduction rate to 1, how does this look now? Yeah. This doesn't look too bad, I would have to say. How does it look to all of you? Oh, there is something where there does need to be a bit of an overlap. Because I had it where if you get to a certain point, yeah, so we need to base this off whatever the current state is. So it would jump up a lot easier than it would jump down. So that is what we need to implement. But let's test in some different themes. So if I switch to this theme, yep, that is working. Now, this theme should be the same, but the pixelated theme should be a lot chunkier because there should be only 3 frames rather than 6. So, yeah, this looks a lot better with 3 frames, I would say. Yeah. I think this is quite a improvement over what we had before. So yeah, we just need to fix the flapping, but that should be easy enough to do. So let's get that done now. So we can actually if we go over here, have a look at so we get the loudness and then so if that is above talking clock. Oh yeah, because we had different rates. So the close is okay. What we need is if it is closed. Oh god. So the volume is less than 0.2. I want to be there. But the thing is, when we get to 0.2, then it is going to be yeah, this is actually confusing. We want to do this the other way around. So we'll do that, and then we'll just have an if statement here. So if it's greater than 0, greater than 0.2, oh no, because we need to do it the opposite way around. Okay, if it's greater than 0.8, 6, 4, 2, and then we swap these around to 1, 2, 3, 4, max. So we're greater than 0.8, we're max. Greater than 0.6 there. So if we're 0, we're closed. If we're above 0, we're going to be here. And then the point at which we get to 0.2, we go to open 2. But the problem is, if we then go to like 0.19, we're going back to open 1, but then if we fluctuate back to 0.2, then we're going to there. So what we want to do is if the volume is greater than 0.2, or if this stop-mouth state is already open 2, and volume is greater than 0.1, then we do that. Now, there probably will be a way to simplify this. What if we put that in 0.4, 0.3? Point 6, 0.5. And 0.8, 0.7, and we want to be max. So what this will mean is it takes, there's a bit of leeway on the way down. So if we're already in a state, we can extend down the volume curve further. Which should prevent that flapping, because once you go up, it's a lot harder to come down. And once you're down, it requires more to go up. If you're in a state, you can go up 0.2 and down 0.1 without changing state. And then once you jump down to a state, then you've got to go up by at least 0.1 to get to the next state. Now, the other thing to work out here is this volume is normalized. Well, it's normalized between 0 and 1, but volume is not linear. Because if we have a look at our max volume is 0.15, but our noise gate is 0.0001. What we probably need to do is find a way to make that more linear, in which case, do we need to make it logarithmic? I mean, the volume is already logarithmic. I mean, it would be nice if we could just get it into decibels, because then we could work it out a bit more. Maybe it is possible to get in decibels. We'll have a look in a second, but let's just see if this looks smoother. Let's just restart that because I forgot I was not locked. So move forward, and yeah, it should not be flapping quite as much. It does when it goes to closed, but in all other cases I would say that is quite an improvement. There's still a little bit of flapping there, but that should be okay, I would say. Yeah. So let's have a look at the Unity microphone. API. Right, so how are we getting this? So the raw volume, we're getting the data, we're adding the lambdas together. So, get data samples of the start position. Unity convert microphone volume to decibel. Read microphone decibel. The decibels from the microphone by retrieving the currently playing microphone output with the audio source get output data function. Okay. Get the decibels from data, you need to sum the samples and calculate the RMS. That RMS value used to calculate the decibels with 20 times math.log 10 RMS divided by ref value. And sum all the squared sample values, calculate the average and get its square root. That's the RMS value, which can convert to with a log operation. That's it. Sampled at 48,000 rate. The frequency can be read from that. If you set the array size to that, for instance, average sounds as the last 21.16 seconds each time you do this procedure. Decibel values are calculated by 20. Okay, so the reference value is the 0 decibel reference. So we're getting our samples there. Unity audio clip versus audio source. Audio source is a component that allows sound to be played in your scene. It also controls that. Okay, so I'm going to be doing the same thing here. So let's see if we can get this stuff out. So what I'm going to do is have a separate function for now. dB volume. But I'm going to have dB equals 0f and public float dB ref equals 1f. Do they have a default ref value? 0.1. Okay. So we do this, we get the data, we've got the wave data in our sample window. So what we want to do is wave data I times wave data I. I'm going to square those. And get the absolute for our RMS value equals math f dot square root what's Q samples 10024 our sample window is 64, so we need sample window for that. So total loudness divided by this dot sample window. So we've just not been doing the squaring and square root, we've been getting the absolute values. Then what we want to return is 20 times mathf.log 10 RMS value divided by this dot db ref. I'll do this dot db equals this dot db volume. Okay, so let's see. So I'm talking between about 25 and 15 now, which it is showing up. So we're getting the decibels. And occasionally it does go a bit higher, but not that much higher, because I've got a compressor on. Yeah, I've got all my stuff on there, so we're just getting the raw decibels. So let's go for dinner. Smells like lasagna. Ooh, that's yep. I do not thought you were going to get lasagna. But yeah, no worries. Hope you have a wonderful lasagna. So what I am going to do, I'm not going to take the noise gate off. I'm just going to take the compressor off, just to see if these match up. So, compressor's turned off now. And yeah, I think we are looking fairly reasonable. Let's, if I do 0.1 there, that is changing the 0 point, which, does it need to be 0.08? Maybe? Let's see, does this... So we've got ref value. So this is the RMS value that should be 0.1 dB. That should be 0 decibels. So does that need to be 0.2? Oh no, 0.15 is what we had. We set that to 0.15. Okay, so we're getting very quiet and then it gets very loud. So, I mean, maybe we can base it off decibels, hopefully. Yeah, because if it's logarithmic, that makes it a lot easier to deal with. Yeah, so I'll probably try that. I'll probably try that off stream and see if I can get it working for next time. So let's have a quick look and see. Is anyone online? Oh, I know. Finite isn't online anymore. I thought he was, but I just refreshed. Yeah, I think we'll just call the stream there. So if I stop this here and I woke up. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Hopefully this stream has been a really interesting one as we get the mouth working, even though it's not working on here. But hopefully by next stream on Sunday at 1 PM UK time, I will have my mouth working in not just this expression, but a few other expressions. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, until then, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And as always, happy coding. Bye.